Last week in the gospel, the operative word was no. If you remember, the paralytic or the leper was told no, he could not worship. No, he could not sit at a table for companionship. No, he could not be a part of the community. This week, if you listen carefully to the second reading, St. Paul reminds us that God's stance toward us is yes. God's stance toward you and me is yes. God says yes to the community. Yes to the community that we are called to be. Yes to the community as we come together to be a part of God's yes. That's why we are here, to become part of God's yes. Do we believe? Do we believe that Jesus came, as we heard in the first reading, to do something new within our lives, within our life as a community, within our life as a community, within this world, saying yes? And yet I think how many are paralyzed in their lives. Paralyzed because of their relationships, because of their addictions, because of their habits, because of the attitudes that form our attitudes toward others and toward institutions. How many are paralyzed by their inability to trust, to be compassionate, and to love? How many times are we paralyzed in our way of life? Sometimes even within our religion, we become paralyzed. This is how it has always been done. Today, Jesus calls us to pick up our mats. Just as he called and told the paralytic, pick up your mat. But he tells us, pick up your future. Pick up your future. Pick up your hope. Pick up your faith. Pick up your love. Because what you need to be able to do is you need to be able to go out into that world, and you need to be the faith that touches this world. You need to be the hope that's in this world. You need to be the love that's in this world. It's not enough for us to talk about faith. It's not enough for us to talk about hope. It's not enough for us to talk about love. We need to be the very reality. And so we need to become people of faith, people of hope, and people of love. And we need to pick up our mat and not be paralyzed by our fear of the world or by the standards of the world. It's so easy to forget that every one of God's promises in this world is a yes. And so, as a community of faith then, who says yes, who lives that yes, day in and day out, we're invited to carry others to the foot of the cross. And together we say yes. We're invited to help others find their way to Jesus. And hopefully together we say yes. We are asked to help others to find a way into God's life, into God's love, even if it means taking off the roof. So that together we can say yes. Somehow we have to be able to help as a community. If we are what we say we are, We have to be able to help others to leave behind all that paralyzes them. We need to help each other to leave behind all that paralyzes us. Our fear, our lack of self-worth, the unreasonable guilt that sometimes holds us down, that need to be loved, and together we need to be able to share God's love by always saying yes. In the land of no's, so many, this week for us should be a week of yes. A week where there is no room for no. Rather, we need to be able to look into the eyes of another. It may be your wife. It may be your husband. It may be a son. It may be a daughter. It may be someone you work with. And somehow see within those lives the goodness and the love of God. Maybe you even need to look into the mirror and look into your own eyes and see that goodness and that love which God says yes to. And when we recognize that in others and we recognize that in ourselves, then we will be able to live our life 24/7 saying yes. God bless you.